Every day, we get things off the ground, keeping you connected and secure. We keep things running smoothly and know the importance of giving back. We're always looking at the bigger picture. We are ARA, reliable solutions for facilities and infrastructure.
There are a lot of scientific reasons to keep kids active, to avoid obesity and the chronic conditions associated with being overweight, to keep minds alert and positive, and to help kickstart and increase metabolisms. But the most important ones run deeper than that, and there's something only a mother would understand. Keeping kids active helps them make friends, learn how to deal with difficult situations, build resilience and a positive self-image. My mother has told me that being an active kid has literally helped me survive as an adult. When I was 25, I was bashed and had a stroke, and my parents were told they might have to turn off my life support. But when my life was in the balance, it was the fitness I'd built up as an active Aussie rules player that helped me pull through. So that was the importance of the science behind staying active for me, but the benefits of being an active child have helped more than I ever would have realised when I was young. After my stroke, I had a visit from my old teammates from the Sydney Swans. The Sydney Swans 2005 Premiership coach, Paul Roos, wrote a foreword in my autobiography. Some old teammates came to the book launch of my biography. I made an Aussie Rules comeback and played my 100th game for the Pennant Hills Demons. I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro with an old teammate and my sister, and I walked to the Kokoda track with a different ex-teammate, my brother and his wife. But this show isn't about me or my mother, so let's get straight to the point. I want to talk to my two guests today, Tara Hayes and Jaclyn Phimsipasom. Thank you for joining me, girls.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
My first guest today, Tara Hayes, wouldn't be here if it weren't for her husband being an active Aussie Rules player at the Pennant Hills Demons. Lenny Hayes and I played football together at Pennant Hills, and after playing Aussie Rules together as kids, Lenny went on to play professional AFL for St Kilda, where he won best and fairest, played in 3 grand finals, won a Norm Smith medal, and captained St Kilda. And I didn't. Tara is the mother of 2 young boys and is flat out like a lizard drinking busy. As well as being a mother, wife, and dog owner, Tara is an entrepreneur, running a business as an independent stylist at Intimo Lingerie, where she provides a mobile bra fitting service. Tara is busy trying to keep her own life running, but with her husband, Lenny Mays Hayes, she still manages to find time to keep her 2 boys active. And she's also found time to join me on Everyday Greatness today. Tara, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. No, thanks for having me.
Before I start, I believe you have something you want to say. Did you want to give a message?
Yes, I do want to give a message. Yes, just to Kirsty and Julie, just wishing you all the best for the Hope Ball on the 14th. I hope it's a successful night for you, and I hope you raise lots of funds for the Cancer Council. So thank you for all your hard work.
Good luck, girls. So Tara, did you and your husband, AFL superstar Lenny Hayes, sit down and make a game plan when you had children about how you were going to raise them, or do you guys just play it one day at a time?
Definitely not. We weren't prepared for what was coming, that's for sure. We just kind of wing it in regards to each of them and what they're interested in. It's just been, yeah, we just kind of roll with whatever they're interested in. There's no game plan.
So tell me about your boys. What sort of kids are they?
So we've got 2 very active boys. We've got Hunter, who is almost 6, and then Jacob, who is 3. And yeah, Hunter's just started playing Auskick this year. We were 2 months late into the season because he just all of a sudden decided that he was interested and wanted to give it a go. So yeah, that is obviously a planned activity for him. We've twice a week for him at the moment, as well as swimming. And then my youngest is just waiting to hit that age where he can be enrolled in everything to do with a bowl. So he's very coordinated, and he's very interested in basketball, golf, cricket, tennis, football, soccer. So he's going to be an all-rounder, I think.
All right,
yeah.
good kid. So of your kids' activities, besides the organised, scheduled team sports, what else do they do to stay active?
Well, they're always outside. I think boys generally do like being outside, but Lenny, even as an adult now, he gets quite fidgety being inside, so I have to take all of my boys outside. So yeah, we like to explore. They go for walks, they go to the golf course and they collect golf balls and look around and try and look for lizards and everything like that. But we are definitely outside every single weekend when they don't have school. We're exploring, talking about animals and getting outside and exploring the earth and landscape around our area. So yeah.
So how much does Lenny help you out in keeping the boys active?
Well, he helps out a lot when the season isn't on. So he is around to take the boys and I down to the Central Coast and take them kayaking and take them to the beach and do everything. So he's very hands-on, and when he doesn't have an away game, he is at Hunter's football games. He wouldn't miss it. When he's around, he makes sure that he's there. And he's there, to be honest, he comes home from work after a really big day and he's straight out there kicking a football with Hunter in the dark because daylight savings is over. So they've got all the lights on and they're kicking together. So yeah, whenever he's not working, he's with the boys. Yeah.
So the world is really intense these days, especially for a child. There's so much bullying and trolling and all that rubbish that's going on. Yeah. Do you and Lenny ever sit down and make decisions about keeping your kids active and involved in team sports as a form of defence against that rubbish?
To be honest, personal preference, I do prefer them to be in a team sport, having fun playing outside rather than on the iPad or social media. We only just got an iPad actually at the end of last year, so I haven't actually come to the social media side of things yet. They're obviously a little bit too young. It is very terrifying though, like it's something that I think we'll both have to sit down and work out a plan with, just with usage and also making sure we've got their passwords, because, you know, you trust them, but there's a lot of people out there, you know, writing some things online. So yeah, you've just got to be onto it, I think, as much as you can.
Very true. So do you want your kids to be winners at all costs? Do you want them to be ruthless or just go out and enjoy things, and if they win, that's just a bonus?
No, definitely not. We're both on the same page in regards to sport. We both agree that we're teaching them about a team sport and that it's a team. It's called a team for a reason. There's no individual performance in that. You share, you pass everything around. It was more him joining a team sport. I was more excited about the friendships that he makes, and also about, just sharing that ball, sharing that football around and getting around his teammates. So we both agree that obviously he wants to kick the goals, so we have to kind of, say, you can get around that and be excited for them in that aspect. But it's definitely, I'm not screaming from the sidelines going, come on, kick a goal, We're definitely more about encouraging the sharing and, just the team environment.
So it sounds like they've been brought up in an environment that preaches just being a part of a team and enjoying it. But have there been any times...
Just having fun and enjoying it.
Yeah. But have there been any times where you and Lenny have had to pull them aside at sports and say, hey, pull your head in, you're carrying on?
Well, there was a couple of times because he would kind of get excited and get in the moment and get that rush, because he saw the ball and he went for the ball and his teammate went for the ball and he just grabbed it and kicked. And so we brought him to the side and said, if your teammate gets to the ball first, you've got to give it to them. You don't take the ball from your teammates. So, there is some of that happens. They're learning, they're so young. So, it's important to instill that at this age, I think. Yeah.
So what's the proudest moment as a mother, watching your two boys stay active, you've seen?
I think them just enjoying themselves. I'm just happy when they're happy, and they really enjoy mucking around and playing outside and, meeting people and being really social. I'm really proud that they talk to everyone and they put themselves out there. It's a very difficult thing for a young, child to do, is get the confidence to engage and make friendships. So I'm really proud that he's just went in there late into the season and then made all of these friendships, and I'm really proud of that.
Has there been one moment, a non-sporting moment, not kicking a goal or laying the tackle, where you've watched one of your boys playing their sport and gone, I'm really proud of what you just did?
Yeah, I'm really proud when he doesn't have to be told and he just handballs the ball to his teammates. And one time he got around a couple of his teammates after kicking a goal and gave them a hug, and that just melted me. That was my proudest moment, was when he got around his teammate for kicking a goal and he was proud of him, and he went out and congratulated him, and yeah, I was really proud of that.
So what's the most pleasing thing for you as a mother in watching your kids being active? Are you standing there thinking, geez, I'm glad your cardiovascular capacity is increasing? Or are you more about the social, being a good person, being a teammate?
I definitely feel like it's them having fun. If they didn't have fun, it wouldn't make me happy if they dreaded going. So they're happy doing it, so it makes me happy. They're being really healthy. They're running around, and then they won't be too crazy for me when we get home. So it's a little bit of a selfish thing that I get out of it as well. I get a bit of peace and calm at home because they've burnt out a little energy.
So you said earlier that you aren't a ranting, raving, cheering mother.
No.
How did you cheer for Lenny when he was playing?
Oh, he would be a bit disappointed I wasn't that for him either. I think I was more anxious with him because I just didn't want him to get hurt. I loved him so much that I had a bit of anxiety when I'd go to a game. I'd have to bring someone with me because he would just go for it and he wouldn't care what would happen. So yeah, I would just close my eyes sometimes.
Well,
just close my eyes and hope that he wouldn't get hurt, but yeah.
I hate to disappoint you, but as a sports-loving man, that was the most pleasing thing about the Lenny Hayes football brand. So we're opposite people. Tara Hayes, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. And now we're going to do the Everyday Greatness Shuffle and get Jaclyn Phimsipasom in the hot seat.
Fantastic.
Jackie, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Barnes.
Shame your shirt's striped, but we'll deal with it. There are a lot of people that can tell you about why kids should be active, but don't actually do what they recommend their children should. Jaclyn Phimsipasom is the exact opposite. Jackie wanted to show her children the importance of staying active so much that she started a personal training business, FITT for All. Jackie is a result of the benefits of all of the non-scientific parts of staying active as a kid. She played every sport on offer in school, and it helped her deal with people so effortlessly. She's an incredible human being and a reliable friend, and she and her husband Oppet are trying to help their young children be the same. Jackie and Oppet are keeping their kids active as much for the non-scientific benefits of making new friends and being proud of trying as hard as they can than they do for the scientific benefits, like helping them avoid problems with high cholesterol when they grow up. There aren't many people whose personality is an example of the benefits of being an active child, but Jaclyn Phimsipasom is one of the rare few. Jackie, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me here, Barnes. Yeah,
Before I start, I believe you have something you want to say as well.
I do. Congratulations to the second and third luckiest women in the world, Julia and Imogen Kickett, for starting a family with Barnaby.
Congratulations, Jules and Ivy. Very proud of you. So, that was really cheesy. So what have been the benefits that you gained from being active as a kid?
Look, for me, when sort of I first started into any sport, it became who I was. I am someone who likes to move. I think Tara was speaking about her kids. I'm that person as well. I love to move. I love to be active. And it gave me like an outlet for that, as well as opportunity to build friends. But one of the other big things that it did is it built a basis for me to have movement as who I am through, through my lifestyle. And I have, I guess, continued that on through adulthood. And I think there's a lot of people who, when they don't have that in their childhood, it's really hard to keep that movement and the motivation for wanting to move going. And for me, it's just who I am. It's just who I am, and it's just part of my life. So living an active, healthy life isn't an effort. it's just who I am. And I think I owe that to my childhood.
So why do you and your husband, Oppet, think it's so important to be role models as active people for your children?
Look, I think we have to practice what we preach, to be really cliched. But if we're not out there doing active stuff, then I think it's really hard to try to motivate the kids to do the same. And I also think we reap the health benefits with that. So we certainly, by being the kind of people who are trying to be good role models, we're also then reaping the benefits of that, living an active, healthy life. Yeah.
So what are some of the examples of things that you and your husband Oppet do to stay active as examples for your children to follow?
Well, look, I guess we don't live necessarily the typical life. So 2 years ago, we decided to travel around Australia, and as part of that, we did every active walk possible. We were really active throughout the whole time. On a day-to-day basis, my husband rides to work every day, so the kids get to see him every day dressing up in his middle-aged lycra and riding to work, riding home. They know he does that. Obviously, I've got my business, and they see that on a daily basis. They see lots of people around us being active and healthy. And I guess the other thing we do is we're yes people. Anything they want to do that we can build into our schedule, we say yes.
I hope your kids didn't see that. So, do you and Oppet ever have to sit down with your kids and give them the parenting finger and say, you need to be more active, get outside, play more?
No, but there is, I think Tara mentioned as well, there is that pull of the devices. And, I think every kid wants some downtime, and when you've got devices available and when you've got them around, it is a challenge to sometimes get them to stop. And even my extremely active kids who love everything, who have the opportunity to have access to stuff. So I probably didn't mention that one thing that we like to do as well is we have a lot of equipment in our house so that the kids then have a multitude of things that they can go to, trampoline. We have monkey bars out the front. We've got one of those big blow-up gym mats so that they can be active. But even with all that stuff out there, there is a massive pull in today's society towards devices. So I have to be very mindful, even if I'm busy, to basically say to the kids, no, you can have 20 minutes of downtime and then I want you outdoors. So not necessarily the finger, but very positively encouraged to turn it off and get out.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things your kids do to stay active? What are some of the things they're involved in?
So I've got twins that are 11, as you know, and then another girl. And the twins, both my girls are very active in the dance community. So, I was never a dancer growing up, not something that I had focused on. And again, I think you discussed, was there a game plan? Absolutely not. I never thought I'd be in the dance world, but they're in a beautiful dance world with a community who encourage health and fitness around dancing. So they're up to 5 or 6 hours a week dancing. They play netball, which is my passion, which I coach as well. They're swimming, and my son has got into parkour. So lots of flipping and running and vaulting off things as well. Yeah.
So do you think your kids need to win to be proud of themselves, or is trying their best enough for them?
Look, my youngest might say that she wants to win. She's certainly the little competitive one. But no, definitely not. I think sport these days, when you start at the young age, there's actually a no-scoring mentality around sport and games, so you're not meant to know. Certainly not. Certainly, you might see on social media everyone getting first ribbons and things like that. But in reality, no, kids know that there's kids better than them. Kids know that they don't have to be the best at everything. And I think it's important for us to encourage that just participating, being part of it, doing your best is just as important as coming first. So while my youngest doesn't necessarily like losing, we're working on that. I hope she's not saying this. My son in particular has never really been one to strive to come first. He's always saying to me, Mum, did you see, I think I ran my fastest, or I think I did my best flip. Yeah. Beautiful.
Do you ever see examples of things your kids do that you're really proud of as a mum, that you see it and go, that happened because of their involvement in team sports?
Yeah, absolutely. Leadership is a big one. So when you see your kids being able to stand up and lead a group of others, I think that has naturally come from being part of a team and being able to communicate with various people within a team at all sorts of different levels, and adults as well. So definitely I've seen leadership qualities that have come out from being part of a team. I've seen compassion and empathy. So, you know, just last week actually one girl on the netball court fell over, hurt her ankle, and we as a team, we all kind of came over and made sure that she was okay. And I've seen that translate to empathy in other areas of their life as well. So empathy and compassion and determination, big time determination. So I think the idea that you want to strive to win is something that you get from being active and part of being sport, being part of a group or sport, and definitely that determination has then filtered over into other aspects. I think the biggest example I've got of that again is my son, who he hasn't really been an overly confident kid standing up in front of people and talking, and not many people are, but he's just come into his own with a lot of his stuff physically, and he's spending a lot of time physically showing other kids how to do flips and tricks and things like that with his parkour, and he then translated that to stepping out in front of the whole school community and giving a speech. And I don't think he would have been able to do that if he hadn't got confidence from being active.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So as a loving mother, do you only see success in your children's world if they end up being the best, or are you happy if they're fourth best and have a lot of friends?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely the second one. I think, there's rarely that I'm basically going, yes, you're awesome because you came first. It's individualised, and it's based on, relative to their, I guess, capabilities. So I see my three kids as very much individuals, and one coming first might be the goal, but for others not coming last might be the goal. And that's, across various different activities and sports and genres of their life. So no, as a mum, I think you are able to cut through that, and you are able to see individual strengths based on their relative kind of abilities. So yeah, first isn't everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
So as an entrepreneur, as a business owner,
Yep.
do you see yourself doing things in your business that were instilled as you as being an active kid, from being an active kid?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the whole concept of my business is active, so that's number one. Number two, I think, the way that I was able to do things as a kid is that I was able to be involved in pretty much everything. I was always encouraged to give anything a go. And as part of that, I think I sort of developed a whole heap of people skills. And people skills is what builds my business. So being able to communicate with people, being able to lead people in, but also then sometimes not being the leader. So I definitely think those skills have followed through into my business world. Being determined is definitely something that I think I got from sport. I'm sure you can get it from other areas, but I got it from sport and being active, and that made me determined to be, I guess, as successful as I could in my business. The other thing is also knowing my limitations. So in my physical world, if I stood up, you'd know that I'm not the tallest person in the world. So I knew my physical limitations within a team sport, and I knew that I was never going to be goal shooter or goalkeeper. I was really going to be the centre of a netball match or a basketball match. I was always going to be the point guard. And the same, I guess, with my business world. I know my limitations. I know probably my strengths are standing up and being in front of people and leading them and motivating, but admin's not my strength.
Well, you're not Robinson Crusoe.
I outsource that.
Good idea. Don't outsource it to me. What did being active as a child teach you about running a successful business? Do you feel like people in the world need to have a different attitude in business, life and sport? Or can they have the one attitude for all three and still be successful?
I think, my personal view on that is you can have the same view on all three. Some people may not take that approach, but I definitely do. And I think it's all about those things that I just discussed. It's, backing yourself, having confidence, knowing your limitations, and just being a kind, generous person. And I think that's the approach I take to life, and I tend to apply it to everything, I hope.
Magnificent. Jaclyn Phimsipasom, thank you for joining me. Thanks to Jackie and Tara for joining me this morning. It's really nice to hear your insights on mothering.
And I tend to apply it to everything, I hope.
Magnificent. Jaclyn Phimsipasom, thank you for joining me. Thanks to Jackie and Tara for joining me this morning. It's really nice to hear your insights on mothering. And thanks to the ARA Group for sponsoring this show. Thanks to Look Studio Australia for filming the show. And thank you for watching this show. I hope you can join us next month, where I'll be speaking to two people with hearts as big as Far Lap about the intangible benefits of being a good person. My guests will be Fifi Hazuri and Mary Ibrahim. If you have any comments or suggestions, or you just want to check out a bit more about what this show's all about, go to our website, www.everydaygreatness.com.au, or send me an email at barnaby.howarth@everydaygreatness.com.au.